All right, we're gonna start with David, as there's this the tradition, and I'm gonna mute everybody. Okay, David, I believe it's all yours.
Well, thank you, Stuart. It's awfully nice to see everybody today. Here's a poem by Lord Byron. It's called She Walks in Beauty Like the Night. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be as the night walks, but anyway, that's the way he wrote it, like the night. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. And the tune is an old Irish song by Paddy Tunney's singing tradition, as I wrote out. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry sky, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes. The smell, oh, to that tender light, which heaven to gaudy day denies. One shade the more, one shade ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens o'er her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express. How pure, how dear their dwelling place. And on that cheek and o'er that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow, but tell of days in goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bringing
Thank you.
Byron back to life.
Love the poem and I love the music.
Thank
And
you.
you
Thank you.
put them together, you have the David Polachek mash.
The Polachek mash.
It was a graveyard smash. No.
Hold on in a flash.
All right, moving right along. Karen, would you care to give us one?
Sure. I've got a funny one and a serious one. Which do you want first? I mean,
Yeah.
I'll save one for later. In other words,
The answer is yes.
yeah. I'll give you the serious one, and then later I'll save the more frivolous one for later when we're all in a more frivolous mood, maybe.
Okay, I'm going to mute
Okay.
everybody. I'm going to mute everybody first and have you unmute. So here we go. We're going to mute everybody. Okay, you can unmute yourself now, please.
Right. A few weeks ago when I was last here, someone said that they were singing the best anti-war song they know. To me, this is the best anti-war song I know, and I've been singing it for years. So, with your guns and drums and drums and guns, hurroo, hurroo. With your guns and drums and drums and guns, hurroo, hurroo. With your guns and drums and drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, my darling dear, you look so queer. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Where are your eyes that look so mild, hurroo, hurroo? Where are your eyes that look so mild, hurroo, hurroo? Where are your eyes that look so mild when my poor heart you first beguiled? Why did you skedaddle from me and the child? Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Where are your legs that used to run, hurroo, hurroo? Where are your legs that used to run, hurroo, hurroo? Where are your legs that used to run when you first went to carry a gun? Indeed, your dancing days are done. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. You haven't an arm and you haven't a leg, hurroo, hurroo. You haven't an arm and you haven't a leg, hurroo, hurroo. You haven't an arm and I haven't a leg. You're an eyeless, boneless, chickenless egg. You'll have to be put with a bowl to beg. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. They're rolling out the guns again, hurroo, hurroo. They're rolling out the guns again, hurroo, hurroo. They're rolling out the guns again, but they'll never take our sons again. No, they'll never take our sons again. Johnny, I'm swearing to ya. With your guns and drums and drums and guns, hurroo, hurroo. With your guns and drums and drums and guns, hurroo, hurroo. With your guns and drums and drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. Oh, my darling dear, you look so queer. Ah, Johnny, I hardly knew ya.
Karen, right?
Yeah, it was really
trying
nice
to get
too.
there. I was trying to get there, Karen. End of friends business meeting, and it went on longer than it should have.
Okay. Well, Liz has probably heard me sing that before, so because I've been singing that for many years.
Thank you, Karen. That's a classic and a very old song.
Yes.
Very, very ancient one. All right, we've got 7 new people join us. Hasten to add that Rich and Vincent and Marion and Ken and Jeffrey, we've added you to the list. And you know how it works. We go around in a circle and I will sign people on and off as it goes. So,
So Stuart,
welcome on.
I've got a good follow-up to that song, if you want to do me next.
Yeah, we'll have you jump over to Hortons, who I've got next, but it's not too big a leap. So Terry, you're next.
Okay.
I'm going to mute everybody.
So that made me think of Mrs. McGrath, of course. And I bet we all know Mrs. McGrath. We all learned it from Tommy Macomb. But it's sort of the other similar Irish anti-war song. But
At the sergeant said, would you like to make a soldier out of your son, Ted? With a scarlet coat and a big cocked hat.
there you
Mrs. McGrath, wouldn't you like that?
I probably could have sung it without the lyric sheet, but, you know, I'm insecure. Oh,
I'm cooking soup.
Could you turn the light on? That's what I forgot to do. This is not a good start. I think I'm going to start at the beginning. Well, Mrs. McGrath, the sergeant said, would you like to make a soldier out of your son, Ted, with a big scarlet coat, and a big cocked hat? Oh, Mrs. McGrath, wouldn't you like with me to ride? Oh, did lie to ride, with me to ride. Oh, did lie to ride. Now, Mrs. McGrath lived on the seashore for the space of 7 long years or more. Espied a ship coming into the bay. Here's my son Teddy, will you clear the way with me to Ryan? All I did lie to Ryan, with me to Ryan. All I did lie to Ryan. Oh, Captain dear, where have you been? Well, have you been sailing on the Mediterranean? Have you any tidings of my son Ted? Is the poor boy living or is he dead? With me to ride, I call it a lie to ride, with me to ride, call it a lie to ride. Well, up come Ted without any legs, and in this place there were 2 wooden pegs. She kissed him a dozen times or 2. Oh, holy Moses, didn't you with me to Raya? Call it a lie to Raya, with me to Raya. Call it a lie to Raya. So there's Ted with no legs. Okay. Now were you drunk or were you blind when you left your 2 fine legs behind? Was it a walking on the sea? Wore you 2 fine legs from the knees away with me to Raya? All it is lie to Raya, with me to Raya. All it is lie to Raya. Now I wasn't drunk and I wasn't blind when I left me 2 fine legs behind. A great cannonball on the 5th of May bore me 2 fine legs from the knees away with me to Raya. A little lie to Raya, to Raya. Fall a little lie to Raya. Oh, my Teddy boy, the widow cried, your 2 fine legs for your mama's pride. Steps of a tree wouldn't do at all. Why didn't you run from the big cannonball with me to Raya? Oh, I did lie to Raya, with me to Raya. Oh, I did lie to Raya. proclaim, between Don John and the King of Spain, I'd rather have me Teddy as he used to be than the King of France and his whole navy would be Tiraya, Paladilla, Tiraya, Raya, Raya, would be Tiraya, Paladilla, Tiraya, Raya, Raya. Well, thanks for putting up with imperfect banjo playing.
And bumping into him in addition to everything else.
It's all
Wow.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Imperfect banjo playing. Let me think on that one for a while. Okay. Thank you very much for that.
not
And
going to make a
continuing.
perfect pitch joke, are you? I mean,
No. I play whistles. I'm in no position to argue. Here's the deal. We're going to the Hortons now, and just want to say we're very glad to see the guitarist member of the Horton family return to us after a recent illness. Good to see he's up and running again. So it's I'm going to mute everybody, and then it's over to the Hortons. Here we go. Mute all. Righto. It's all yours.
You have to get
You're
muted
still,
again.
there we go. There we go. There we go.
Okay, our first one is Highway to Kilkenny. It's an Irish hop. Irish hops are generally in 9/8 time, and so you can, if you want to dance around in your house there while we're playing it, it's a real short little intro piece, and then we're going to play something more serious called Immigrant's Daughter. And it's about, you see our background is a sunset because a lot of children died as they were crossing the ocean to come to America. And that's what this song is about. So it's kind of like a little ballad, Irish ballad. So we'll start out with something dancey, and then we'll go to something sad. I'm going to be on the soprano recorder, and of course Jeff's on classical guitar.
Yay!
okay.
Retuning here. Are you ready for us again? again? Okay. Are we unmuted?
Yeah.
That was great. Now, I know that tune, and David can help me out here. That I know there's the Grenadier and the Lady goes to that tune or something.
Oh, the Immigrant's Daughter?
Yeah, that tune I've heard it done elsewhere.
Well, we started out with the tune and then we did some variations of it, but it was the same melody. Kind of the same melody.
Yes, it's a lovely melody.
Yeah, we liked it.
Mm-mm-mm. Okay, I think it features in Far from the Madding Crowd, the movie version. So, anyway, okay, enough reminiscence here. Let's move on. We got at least 12 people, so it's a good show today. So we're going to keep the show moving, and it's Tom Woodruff's turn. Tom, the world poet, and I'm going to mute everybody. All right, Tom, all yours.
Our Lady of the Angels, Wavell Heights, still stands. I went back to check in 2019. But now those I knew are with the real angels now. Father O'Connell and his brides of Christ, Sister Mary Denise and Sister Mary Anthony, dressed in black with similar dispositions. I still have the best forehand in grade 8A. I still remember snakes in the bush backyard, the tuck shop in that church that gathered all Catholic souls, football, rugby, and gangs in the playground, winning the English prize and learning enough of the Merchant of Venice to vaunt those famous lines. When in the Rialto you have berated me, patience is a mark of all my race. And the Irish dancing, and green shamrocks everywhere, nuns and priests still carrying their Hibernian accents, fresh from a land of St. Patrick with no snakes, not like the ones that lived in our bush, now long gone. For in that parish hall Eisteddfods were held, where we declaim poetry for memory. That memory remains today. The buildings stand. Those people fade. Poetry and music return in Irish waves away. And now, in another skin, these brush marks in air, temporary dervish weather, all swirls and spiral dances, currents, subterranean chorus, sirens, oh harpies, walls, whirls, melt like chocolate in this hot sun Texas heat. We are weather for each other, prevailing winds of music, sometimes sudden storms, soft seas, tranquil blanket skies, light calls us, transitory illuminations, hung outlaw lights. Before belief, feelings without names, the mish of swish, click, globe turns, transfix upon mirror image. Is this the part where your hearts betray your song? Or when you send sand for beaches campaign to end all suffering distances, magnetically pull towards deeper currents, tidal wave love, swamping that little boat in tension, sinking in spirals and sweetness, desire of the deep enchanted seas. And for that is why we gather in circles like this and let our futures in, or rather let our spirits out, to sit and talk and walk about. You cannot buy morality, much less rent it like a gift, like fantasy. Elections to us are shadow puppet shows. We do not know these strangers, yet we still vote. Each day a new song, a line remembered from the past, from future steps we have yet to take. The past a skeleton, yet it still dances. And our world is something we can co-create. Circles, spirals, labyrinths, waves keep us moving, alive, creative today. Thanks.
Very nice. Very nice, Tom. Very nice.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Dave.
All right.
Thank you.
That man has a way with words.
That's all he can get away with.
Sometimes he does away with words, but hey. Moving on to Mary Jane. I'm going to mute everybody. Here we go. Okay, Mary Jane, it's all yours.
Thank you. I'm going to do the Star of the County Down. Hopefully it's a favorite of yours, except that I just lost my... Can you see me? Have I lost you completely? I don't hear anything or see anything.
We can see you.
Oh, okay. That's what I...
We can hear
Yeah.
you and see you, so.
Okay, yeah, I can't see you, but I'll go ahead and perform and fix it later. I'll have to
Imagine you in a, well, just imagine you seeing us.
Yeah, just imagine I probably wouldn't be paying much attention to you anyway. Okay. Near Bembridge Town in the county Down, one morning last July, down the Boreen came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her two bare feet to the crown of her nut brown hair. Such a winsome elf that I pinched myself just to see I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county Down. As she onward sped, I sure scratched my head, and I looked with a feeling rare. And I says I to a passer-by, who's that maid with the nut brown hair? He smiled at me and he says to me, that's the gem of Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Bann, she's the star of the county Down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county Down. At the harvest fair she'll be surely there, so I'll dress my shoes shine bright, and my hat cocked right for a smile from the nut brown rose. No pipe I'll smoke, no horse I'll yoke, till my plow turns a rust-colored brown. Still smiling bright by my own firelight is the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Gay, and from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the brown colleen that I met in the county down.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you very much.
All right, well done there, well done. All right, moving on. I think Jim is up next. Yeah, Jim is up next. So let me mute everybody. Then, okay, Jim, I think it's all yours.
All right then. This is a cautionary tale. It takes place on a building site sometime before workmen's compensation laws, but after the passage of the law of gravity. Dear boss, I write this note to you to tell you of me plight. And at the time of writing, I am not a pretty sight. My body is all black and blue, my face a deathly grey. And I write this note to say, why Paddy's not at work today. While working on the 14th floor, some bricks I had to clear. Now to throw them down from such a height was not a good idea. The foreman wasn't very pleased, he being an awkward sod. And he said I had to take them down the ladder in me hod. Now clearing all these bricks by hand, it was a very slow. That I hoisted up a barrel and secured it down below. But in my haste to do the job, I was too blind to see that a barrel full of building bricks was heavier than me. So when I untied the rope, the barrel fell like lead, and clinging tightly to the rope, I started up instead. I shot up like a rocket, till dismay I found that halfway up I met the bloody barrel coming down. The barrel broke my shoulder, as to the earth it sped, and when I reached the top, I banged the pulley with me head. I held on tight, though numb with shock from this almighty blow, while the barrel spilt out half the bricks 14 floors below. Now, when these bricks had fallen from the barrel to the floor, I then outweighed the barrel, and so started down once more. Still clinging tightly to the rope, I hurtled to the ground and landed on the broken bricks that were all scattered round. Now, as I lay lying there, I thought I'd passed the worst, till the barrel hit the pulley wheel and then the bottom burst. A shower of bricks came down on me. I hadn't got a hope. As I lay there moaning on the ground, I let go the bloody rope. Then the barrel tumbled. Whoops. The barrel then being heavier, it fell to earth once more, and landed quite across me as I lay there on the floor. It broke 3 ribs in my left arm, and I can only say that I hope yous understand why Paddy's not at work today.
The best part of that was Jim's doleful expressions through.
All right, so had a little trouble unmuting myself there. Something my wife never says, by the way. Ha ha. Okay. That was very good, Jim. Very good. A classic. Well presented. Next up is Jeff. If Jeff, you have something for Jeffrey. If you have something for us, I'm going to mute everybody. Here we go.
Right.
All right, Jeff. It's all up to you to unmute and do your thing.
Okay, I'm going to read a poem by Seamus Heaney. It's called Fireside. Fireside. Always there would be stories of lights hovering among bushes or at the foot of a meadow, maybe a goat with cold horns plumbing into the moon, a tingle of chains on the midnight road, and then maybe word would come round of that watery art, the lamping of fishes, and I'd be mooning my flash lamp on the licked black pelt of the stream, my left arm splayed to take a heavy pour and run of the current occluding the net. Was that the beam buckling over an eddy or a gleam of the fabulous? Steady the light and come to your senses, they're saying good night. That was Seamus Heaney. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very good. Now it's all the way up to, I think, Silver Spring, Maryland or something, to Rich Galloway from the great cold Northeast. It's midsummer back here in Texas. A week of the Arctic was enough for us for 100 years. So.
Well, it hasn't been too bad here. Daytime temperatures are in the 40s.
Farther.
I'm sorry. Let me mute everybody. So we'll leave the floor to you.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yep. And
all right, Rich, it's all yours. So unmute.
Unmute too. Yeah. So first off, I got some good news. Is I got my COVID shot on Friday, my first one. And the bad news is I had some pretty strong side effects and still undergoing some very bad muscle pain. And right now I still can't breathe as well as I should be able to. So I picked a song that you can breathe mid-verse in pretty much a lot of places in this song. So, and we'll go back to the theme of anti-war songs and missing body parts. Oh, it's by the hush me boys, I'm sure that's the Hulger noise. And listen to poor Paddy's narration, I was by hunger pressed and in poverty distressed, when I took a thought to leave this Irish nation. Here's you boys, do take my advice. I just changed keys. Here's you boys, do take my advice to America. I'm off. Well, let's see where this goes. Here's you boys, do take my advice to America. I'd have yous not be coming There's nothing here but war where the murdering cannons roar. And I wish I was at home in dear old Erin. So I sold my horse and plough, my little pigs and cow, my little farm of land, and I parted, and my sweetheart Biddy McGee I'm afeard I'll never see, for I left her that morning broken hearted. Here's you boys, do take my advice, to America I'd have yous not be coming. There's nothing here but war where the murdering cannons roar. And I wish I was at home in dear old Erin. And meself and 100 more to America sailed o'er. Our fortunes we were thinking to be finding. When we landed in Yankee land, they shoved a gun into my hand, saying, Paddy, you must go and fight for Lincoln. Here's you boys, do take my advice, to America I'd have yous not be coming. There's nothing here but war where the murdering cannons roar. And I wish I was at home in dear old Erin. General Mayor to us said, if you get shot or lose your head, every murdered soul of you will get a pension. In the war I lost me leg, all I've now is a wooden peg. Sure it is the truth to you I mention. Here's you boys, do take my advice, to America I'd have yous not be coming. There's nothing here but war where the murdering cannons roar. And I wish I was at home in dear old Erin. Now I think meself in luck to be fed on Indian buck in old Ireland, the country I delight in. And by the devil I do say, curse America, for I'm sure I've had enough of their hard fighting. Here's you boys, do take my advice, to America I'd have yous not be coming. There's nothing here but war where the murdering cannons roar. And I wish I was at home in dear old Erin.
Thank you. Thank you. That was great. Yeah. Is that one of yours, Rich?
No, I more or less introduced it in this country, but it's I got it from O.J. Abbott in Canada.
What's the name of that song?
By the Hush.
By the Hush.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's, which is a little weird because the By the Hush, which is what I sing, the original was Irish and it was pronounced pretty much by the hush, but it meant give me your attention.
I don't think it means anything to you, but I was playing along in F sharp to your singing. This is
Oh, okay. I was watching you do that, so that's good to know.
I've
that's
got
not the key I normally do that in.
I got a whistle for every key because you never know. So anyway,
yeah,
it was great. Very
That's
good.
known in some circles as Paddy's lamentation.
Yeah. Thank you, Ken. All right, we're now going to go to the big man from Ireland, Vincent and Marion. I'm going to mute everybody, then we'll turn it over to you. Here we go. Mute all. All right, Vincent, it's all yours to unmute and go ahead there.
I will mute it. Just for Rich's information, General Maher, today is the anniversary of the first time the Irish tricolour was ever hoisted, and it was in 1848, and it was General Maher hoisted it in Waterford. So there you are. This isn't an Irish song, but it's in the Irish style. So here we go. The lily is a fine flower. There's one grows in my garden. And though her roots were white as milk, her blooms are blood red scarlet. It's a fine flower, the lily. Where did you get that lily flower? The scarlet one, you know. Where did you get that lily flower? I stole her long ago. It's a fine flower, the lily. As I rode high on a hay wain, I looked across the big stone wall. I saw a lawn and a bank of flowers, scarlet lilies, sweet and tall. It's a fine flower, the lily. As I rode by on a hay wain, the dusk was just a falling. Thinks I'll have some lily roots. Tonight I'll come a-calling. It's a fine flower, the lily. Come 12, I climbed that big stone wall. Softly I climbed over. The air was warm, the moon was bright. The night was full of summer. It's a fine flower, the lily. I brushed past someone in the dark. A soft voice spoke, "Who's there?" A young girl in a snow-white frock says, "What are you doing here?" It's a fine flower, the lily. "What are you doing here?" she says. "Hush, don't answer loudly." I looked at her a little and said, "I've come for the lily. It's a fine flower, the lily. What will they say if they find you trespassing past midnight? What will they say if they find us together in the moonlight? It's a fine flower, the lily. My parents, they may hear us or watch us from their window. So hush your voice and make no noise and step into the shadow. It's a fine flower, the lily. So in the shadow of that wall, she walked and whispered with me. What happened then? No man, no man. She gave me the lily. It's a fine flower, the lily. There we go.
That was mighty fine, Vincent. You did some of the finest songs, I have to say.
Yeah, a fine Irish song and a fine Irish voice.
Yeah. Is Marion with you tonight, or was
No,
that
she's not. No, she's not here tonight.
okay? Well, we'll just move on there. But thank you for that song. That was great.
All right. You're welcome.
And now to the last and the least. No, I'm the least. I'm the last. Anyway, the next one is Ken. So I'm going to mute everybody. And Ken, if you would unmute, it's all yours.
Greetings, folks. It's nice to see you all. And Vincent, I remember being in Waterford and seeing General Maher's statue there. And since I have done a lot of Civil War living history, that was a very meaningful sighting there for us. Down close to the Viking Triangle there. And so when whoever mentioned the Far from the Madding Crowd, was that you, Stuart? That recalled a song that I used to do from that movie that I'm going to resurrect right now before my very ears, I hope. But I also wanted to ask, in case this is my only opportunity, are there any plans afoot for reviving the Austin Irish Festival in November? Is Donnell still on top of that, or anybody know what's happening with that? Okay. So here is hey, that was Albert Finney, right? And Oliver Reed and Julie Christie. Oh, I had such a prepubescent crush on Julie Christie. I don't know if that was before Fahrenheit 451 or not, but I was enraptured. So this is I Sow the Seeds of Love. Not an Irish song at all. I sow the seeds of love, and I sow them in the springtime, in April, May, and sunny June, when small birds sweetly sing, when small birds sweetly sing. My gardener, he stood by, so I asked him to choose for me. He chose for me the violet, the lily, and the pink, but these I refused all three. Yes, these I refused all three. The violet I forsook, because she fades too soon. The lily and the pink I did quite really overthink, and vowed I'd wait till June. I vowed I'd wait till June. In June there's a red, red rose, and that's the flower for me. I pulled and I plucked at the thorny briar, and gained a willow tree. I gained a willow tree. The willow it will twist, the willow it will twine. I wish that I were back in that young girl's arms that once held this heart of mine, that once held this heart of mine. I sow the seeds of love, in the springtime, in April, May, and sunny June, when small birds sweetly sing, when small birds sweetly sing. Thanks.
That was very, very sweet, Ken. Very sweet. Talking of the Far from the Madding Crowd, there is actually written in the text. If you remember the harvest scene where all the suitors are sitting around the table with the peasants, he gets up and sings a song. Well, the one they use in the movie isn't the one in the book. The song is by the banks of Allan Water, all about a young girl who's mistreated by a grenadier and gets pregnant and dies in the wintertime on the banks of Allan Water. It's a real pleasant song. Anyway, it kind of reprised the theme of the book, which I thought was a very clever bit of writing there. Anyway, thank you for that. Now it's my turn, so I'm going to mute everybody so I can ramble on without interruption. All right. Yeah. I'm going to do a one I've done before. It's a Scottish song. Though I grew up in north of London, and in my youth I was really enraptured with a duo from Scotland called the Corries. And there's just two of them playing guitar, and they made up their own instruments. That's how good they were. But they were a bit like Stan Rogers. They decided to reclaim Scottish history by writing it into song, because that's how history lasts. There's a song about it. And this one's called Sound the Pibroch. A pibroch, as David pointed out last time I did this, it's a bunch of martial music, often played by mass bagpipes when going into war. But one reason I like Irish music and Celtic music, Scottish music, is particularly with immigrant communities, there's a deep sense of longing for things far away and for events far in the past. And there's a romanticized nostalgia. And I figured out a definition, which I wrote down on paper. Is when that which never really was can be again. So that's why we do these songs. So. And this is about the Battle of Culloden and the disaster, but it's written before the battle. Well, it's written after the battle, but it's written as a defiant, triumphant song that we were the good guys. And there's a bit of Scottish Gaelic in there. In the chorus, it says Hatching Foam, and Hatching Foam evidently means I'm having a mind to join Prince Charlie. So there we go. That's a phrase I'm going to borrow from Vincent. There you are. Sound the pibroch loud and high, from John O'Groats to the Isle of Skye. Let all your Seans with battle cry arise and follow Charlie. Hatching foam, foam, foam. Hatching foam, foam, foam. Hatching foam, foam, foam. Arise and follow Charlie. And see a small devoted band by dark Loch Shill have taken their stand, and proudly vow with heart and hand to fight for royal Charlie. Hatching foam, foam, foam. Hatching foam, foam, foam. Hatching foam, foam, foam. Arise and follow Charlie. From every hill and every glen are gathering fast the loyal men. They grasp their ducks and shout again, hurrah for Royal Charlie, hatching for hatching for hatching for arise and follow Charlie. On dark Culloden's field of gore, hark, hark, they shout, Claymore, Claymore, and bravely fight. What can they more? They die for Royal Charlie, hatching for hatching for hatching for arise and follow Charlie. No more we'll see such deeds again, deserted is each highland glen, and lonely cairns are for the men who fought and died for Charlie, hatching for hatching for hatching for arise and follow Charlie. The white rose blossoms forth again, deep in sheltered highland glens. Soon we'll hear the cry we can, to rise and fight for Charlie, hatching for hatching for hatching for arise and follow Charlie, hatching for hatching for hatching for arise and follow Charlie. There you go. All you Jacobites out there. Okay. The cause lives. After all, my first name is Stuart, Stuart, you know.
That's awkward with the Jacobites.
Got to go. All right, well, we've been around once, and we have 2 hours to go. Huzzah! So we'll start at the top again with David, and I will mute everybody.
Who are we starting with?
Dave.
All right,
Right.
David.
Right. So this is one of my favorites. It's a song, an Irish song of immigration. The most, I think, the source is the earliest recording, I believe, of this song was by a man named Paddy Tunney. He was very famous for his songs and his singing and his poetry. And it's called Craigie Hills. It being in the spring when the small birds were singing down by a shady arbor, I carelessly did stray where the thrushes they were warbling, the violets they were charming. Two fond lovers walking, a while I did delay. She said, my dear, don't leave me for another season. Though fortune may be pleasing, I'll go along with you. I'll forsake friends and relations. I'll quit this Irish nation, and to the bonny banks forever I'll bid adieu. He said, my dear, don't grieve me, or you'll annoy my patience. You know I love you dearly, the more I'm going away. I'm going to a foreign nation to purchase a plantation to comfort us hereafter, all in America. Then after a short while, if fortune does be pleasing, 'twill cause us for to smile at our late going away. We'll be happy as Queen Victory, all in her greatest glory. We'll be drinking wine and porter, all in America. The landlords and their agents, their bailiffs and their beagles, the land of our forefathers, we're forced for to give o'er. Now we're sailing on the ocean for honor and promotion, and parting with our sweethearts, 'tis them we do adore. If you were in your bed lying and thinking upon dying, one sight of the bonny banks your sorrow you'd give o'er. Or if you were 1 hour all in yon shady bower, pleasure would surround you, you'd think on death no more. So fare you well, so fare you well, you sweet craggy hills, where oft times I have roved in. I never thought my youthful days I'd part you any more. Now we're sailing on the ocean for honor and promotion, and the bonny boats are sailing down by Durin shore.
Very good, sir. Well done. All right. And for those, if you're not familiar and you're not familiar to Zoom music, if you don't hear applause, it's not that people aren't applauding. It's just that it's not getting through. So you always assume massive applause because, if you've ever performed, that's the way to keep going. At least everyone's not talking in the restaurant while you're playing. So that's one good thing about it.
Stuart, I like it when the other people clap because I still can't make any noise with my hands yet because
Oh, yeah.
my right hand isn't strong enough to make
Yeah.
any sound.
Cool.
And so
We do
I
it for
love
you.
it because it sounds like I'm clapping because I hear you guys clapping because I can't make a sound yet.
It's a collective clap. Very good.
Yeah, so thank you. And I can turn on my little reaction sign too.
I saw that. That's great. Very good. I saw the heart earlier. Very good. All right. We're moving right on now to Karen G. So I'm going to mute everybody and then it's over to Karen. Mute all. Okay.
Yeah.
Karen, it's all yours.
Yeah. Hi. Sorry, I interrupted Rich, but in fact, I am near Belfast, Maine. So there is snow outside my window, which is appropriate for here, not, I know, for you guys, but I just thought I'd mention that some of us actually have winter during the winter, and that's where we are. So we're even farther north than Rich. So I'm coming in from the North Country, mid-coast Maine, which is, as I say, Belfast. There's a lot of Irish people up here, hence the name of Belfast. So anyway, this is a whole lot less serious song, but and I got this, believe it or not, from Buffy St. Marie, who is not noted for her Irish singing. She's more a Native American activist, but I learned it long ago from. It's another Johnny song. My guitar actually at one point was named Johnny for a song that neither of these two, but Johnny seems to be the name that everybody gives to their loves. So this is a song about women and love. So, oh, Johnny be fair and Johnny be kind, and once before to wed. And I would marry Johnny, but his father, sorry, I'm going to start again. Johnny be fair and Johnny be kind, and once before to wed. And I would marry Johnny, but my father up and said, I'm sad to tell you, daughter, what your mother never knew. But Johnny is a son of mine, and so he's kin to you. Jimmy be fair and Jimmy be kind, and wants me for to wed. And I would marry Jimmy, but my father up and said, I'm sad to tell you, daughter, what your mother never knew. But Jimmy, too, is a son of mine, and so he's kin to you. Well, Billy be fair and Billy be kind, and wants me for to wed. And I would marry Billy, but my father up and said, I'm sad to tell you, daughter, what your mother never knew. But Billy, too, is a son of mine, and so he's kin to you. You never seen a girl so... I think I'm going to go down. You never seen a girl so sad and sorry as I was. The boys in town are all my kin, and my father is the cause. If life should thus continue, I shall die a single miss, and so I'll go to mother and complain to her of this. Oh, daughter, haven't I taught you to forgive and to forget? And if your father sown his oats well still, you needn't fret. Your father may be father to all the boys in town, and still he's not the one who sired you, so marry whom you will.
Yay!
Good one, good one, good one. Thank you.
Yeah, we sang that a lot in college, didn't we, Karen?
Yeah, it's a good
We're
one.
going around with them.
We were all looking for.
Johnny.
We were all looking for Mr. Right, and a few of us found him. But
The rest of them
Eventually.
contented themselves with Johnny.
Lots of Johnnies around. All right. Talking of Johnny, here's Terry. Terry's up next. I'm going to mute everybody.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that was a reach. Yeah, I know. Okay. All right, Terry, unmute yourself.
I got it. Well, this is fancy that it's another Johnny song, but this is a Johnny song from Scotland, and it's when I first heard this, there's a little bit of a story around that. You know, I decided it was a gorgeous melody. Just beautiful and perfectly sappy lyrics. Just, so you'll have to put up with the lyrics. But when I first heard it was when the Sorrell family played at a folk festival when I was, I don't know, I was a teenager. And we met another family, the Beers family. They were husband and wife and daughter. And they all three had wonderful, gorgeous voices. And Bob Beers played this rich, big hammered dulcimer. And their kind of signature song was Dumbarton's Drums, which they had tossed the original melody and written their own melody to it. And, you know, I never tried to do it because their rendition was so incredible. I just didn't feel right doing it. But you know, if you don't play songs that someone else plays better, you'll never play anything. So one might as well give it up. So here's my version of Dumbarton's Drums. The main problem I have with these lyrics is that martial drums as a romantic melody, you know, and what it means, and You know, usually when you hear the drums, you know they're marching your boyfriend off to be cut to pieces on the plains of Culloden or something like that. You know, I just don't get it. But thematically, I prefer those Irish pacifist songs. But this is a lovely piece, and I'll do it for you. Dumbarton's drum, they sound so bonny, and they remind me of me Johnny. Such fond delights do fall upon me when Johnny kneels and kisses me. My love, he is a handsome laddie, although he's but Dumbarton's caddy. Someday I'll be a captain's lady when Johnny tends his vows to me. Sorry. Across the field of bounding heather, Dumbarton sounds the hour of pleasure, the joy I know will know no measure when Johnny kneels and kisses me. 'Tis he alone who can delight me. His roving eyes, they do delight me. And when his tender heart arms embrace me, the blackest night does turn and flee. Dumbarton's drums, they sound so bonny, they remind me of me Johnny. Such fond delights do fall upon me when Johnny kneels and kisses me. So what
Yay!
is when the drums are beating and this lad is rolling around in fields of heather with his girlfriend. How is it that he hopes to make captain?
That was very nice. That's a beautiful tune.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Did I mention Bob Beers actually wrote the tune and replaced the old, tossed out the old Scottish tune to it. Bob died in an auto accident not long after we met him, so it was a very sad passing. And the rest of the family kept up the music somewhat, but you know, you can hear all the old Beers family recordings on YouTube, and I highly recommend them.
That's almost a lullaby feel to it. It's so much so you put Jim to sleep, but you might give him if you'd be so kind to give him a phone call before his time
You
comes
know,
up.
Stuart, your dog was looking completely rapturous during
Yeah.
that.
Shakespeare was right. What can we tell you? That was great, though. Very good indeed. So the Hortons are next. Oh, welcome, Anne. Anne, we'll fit you in from Argyle. We'll fit you in a couple of slots, so you're not don't have to wait all the way around. So I'm going to put you between Jim and Jeff. So that means nothing to you, but it means something to me. So about 3 or 4 slots from now. Okay. So the next is the Hortons, and I'm gonna mute everybody. Mute all. Okay.
Okay. Well, the Celtic people were very spiritual people, and they loved the land and believed in all kinds of spirits and leprechauns and things like that. So I wrote a poem and a song, and it's called Sacred Walk. So in my background, you see a little walkway there, and it goes like this: Let the spirit of the earth help us see we are blessed walking on the earth. Let the spirit of the earth give us strength. Help us see we are blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I wrote notes to go with the poem, and I'm going to play it on this. I don't think my background, it's hard to see. I have this walking stick flute that's taller than me. I'm 5'7", but it's taller than me. And I'm going to play it. It's very quiet, so you'll have to listen to hear this sacred walk of the Celts.
Yay!
I wish you could see it better. It's such a pretty instrument. It's real big.
Sounds
It's made out of yucca.
You can see it pretty well. Yeah.
The sound came through very well, actually.
Yeah.
The sound picks up bass whistle quite well. The sound system picks up bass whistle quite well, I've noticed. So.
Good.
All right, well, thank you for that. Moving along to Tom. We're going to mute everybody. And here we go. Mute all.
I've
Okay, need to unmute, Tom. Sorry. Need to
been,
unmute.
yep, I'm
Yeah,
unmuted. To folk fiddle and violin. I love the company of folk musicians, aware they are of riff and composition, improvisation. But the recent resurgence of sea shanties on TikTok made me aware of the difference between folk fiddle and violin. Fiddle for Gaelic, Scottish, English, Celtic dance tunes, violin for concertos, symphonies, string quartets. Like Demotic Greek or Pidgin Latin, the fiddle has always been a folk instrument, while the refined violin carries a more distinguished destiny. Both are capable of solo, unaccompanied sharings, fiddle for folk dancing, violin for symphony orchestras. Our lives allow us to enjoy the benefits of both in tunings and cadenzas that delight our dancing dervishes, as well as distill the crystal qualities of the flight of violins. But right now, there is a red bird outside my window, her thin branch a pecking space where she might see the new green whirls from her winged heights and dive upon her lunch growing in our grass. She returns with no guarantee, interpretation of mystery, ascribing meaning to what repeats, giving unknown dimensions. Enough to open up the gift of joy that birds imply and employ. We were winged once, now we see red birds on a thin green tree. All sky defined by one such makes more out of much, her thin branch a pecking space where she might see green worlds from winged heights and dive upon her lunch growing in our grass. All sky defined by one such makes more out of much. While we speak, spell sparks from fire, from hearts igniting when the winds sing through us. The grains of truth we hold in our hands, breath of light, life animates when we circulate like the seasons. Find sails that feel like sheets, spill these seeds into the willing earth of air, watch as harvests of interest arise there, bright, green, new, to find these shapes and forms consonant with our growth. Life begins like this. It has long before us and will long afterwards. We are all surfers on a series of waves. The wind carries us all away, whether we are harp, fiddle, violin, guitar, or flute. We stay. Sing.
Yay, Tom!
Yay, Dave! Yay, all of us!
Brother, tell it.
Woo!
Very nice, very nice.
Thank you. Thanks for being.
Very mellifluous. You look going up.
Mellifluous, I love that word. Mellow yellow.
All right, now we're on to Mary Jane. I'm gonna mute everybody. Okay, yeah. Unmute yourself, Mary Jane, and it's all yours.
I am unmuted. I'm going to do Lord Nelson by Tommy Makem. And today is actually either the 54th or the 55th anniversary of the event celebrated in this song. Lord Nelson stood in pomp of state upon his pillar high, and down along O'Connell Street he cast a wicked eye. He thought how this barbaric race had fought the British crown, yet they were content to let him stay right here in Dublin town. So remember brave Lord Nelson, boys, he had never done defeat, and for his reward they stuck him up in the middle of O'Connell Street. For many years Lord Nelson stood, and no one seemed to care. He'd squint at Ben O'Connell, who was sitting right down there. He thought the
Yay! Good one.
A lot,
Excellent, excellent. You know that that first half of that tune is the theme tune to a Masterpiece Theatre. Used to be. Da da dun 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 da, dun, dun. Anyway,
Pretty simple too. It's only got
good stuff.
words.
All right, Jim, are you with us? Because you're up next. I'm going to mute everyone first. Here we go. Mute all. Okay, Jim, it's all yours.
It is sometimes said, by the way, that that last song is about Ireland's first astronaut.
Very good.
All right, this is a Dominic Behan song with a Dominic Behan monologue at the start of it. And probably requires a tiny bit of explanation. Robert McAlpine was one of the principal construction lords of London in the 30s and 40s and 50s. And it is said that at McAlpine's death, he said, "Whatever you do, keep Paddy at the mixer." "'Twas in the year of 39, the skies were full of lead. Hitler was heading for Poland, and Paddy for Holyhead. Come all you pincher laddies and you long distance men, don't ever work for McAlpine, for Wimpy or John Lang. For they'll put you behind a mixer till your skin has turned to tan, and they'll say, 'Good on you, Paddy,' with your boat fare in your hand. The crack was good in Cricklewood, and I wouldn't leave the Crown. With glasses flying and biddies crying, sure Paddy was going to town. Oh, mother dear, I'm over here, and I'm never coming back. What keeps me here is the rake of beer, the ladies, and the crack. I come from County Kerry, the land of eggs and bacon. If you think I'll eat your fish and chips, by Jesus, you're mistaken." As down the glen came McAlpine's men, with their shovels crossed behind them. 'Twas in the pub that they drank the sub, and up in the spike you'll find 'em. They sweated blood and they washed down mud with pints and quarts of beer. And now we're on the road again, McAlpine's Fusiliers. I've stripped to the skin with the darky fin, way down upon the Isle of Grain. With horse face tool, I knew the rule, no money if you stopped for rain. McAlpine's God was a well-filled hods, your shoulders torn to bits and seared. And woe to he who went to look for tea with McAlpine's Fusiliers. I remember the day that the Bear O'Shea fell into a concrete stair. What Horseface said when he saw him dead, it wasn't what the rich call prayer. I'm a navvy short, was the one retort that reached unto my ear. When the going is rough, sure you must be tough with McAlpine's Fusiliers. I've stripped, I've sweated, I've bathed in sweat till I was bet with Russian, Turk, and Pole. In shuttering jams and the hydro dams or underneath the Thames in a hole. I've grafted hard and I've worked got me cards and many a ganger's head across my ear. If you prize your life, don't join by Christ with McAlpine's Fusiliers.
Wow.
Yes.
Yay, good one.
Oh, it's very good. Jim's the kind of guy who can be nodding off and then pull this out of his head. I can't do that.
Well, I just it's my drifting off hour.
Yeah, I'm with you. Anyway, that's very good. That's a great one. I hadn't heard that one before ever anywhere. So thank you for that. So.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna have Anne sing us a song now. I'm going to mute everybody, and then Anne will take it over. All right, all yours.
Okay, I'm going to sing this one in Gaelic, but I'll post the English words after. Chabesniachkas an rioa vo hua, Abi krona gerfua vonya, Habeushkes an gayan vonia, Achangala la blen vonjes, Blatrecht doch gagas a freyev, Kanan mochreyev moe. Ik hokan ik korn go shier, Gus an klein sheen an kanan am fen. Ik hokan ik korn go shier, Gus an klein sheen an kanan am gel. Symach gire hug greser a chaile, Doe hok van lali kakri, Symach gaski chavros niks of lar, Go ik no about jo van stri. O ger o kachtjen jacht doe, Net hinnes, net kanen sto hier. Ik hokan ik korn go shier, Gus an kleintje dan kanen am fen. Ik hokan ik korn go shier, Gus an kleintje dan kanen am gel. Get hele bez na glin, Get scown and jochlen journas mo. O jo, ich wichke, wat dat doe, Goro ik edra mocher am bo. Gia na helen an shier, With a claims na skier, not go. Ik hokan ik korjum gushia, Gus an klein sheen an kanen am fein. Ik hokan ik korjum gushia, Gus an klein sheen an kanen am gel. Canon and Gael. It's the language of the Gael.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, do post us the translation if you can, if you have a moment there, or a link or something. There we go. Ah, very good. That was quick. All right, Jeff, and I see Marlene has joined us. I'll get Marlene to come up in a couple of about two more, Jeff and Rich, and then Marlene. So. But Jeffrey, it's all yours. I'm going to mute everybody first. Here we go. Okay, it's all yours, Jeff.
Okay, I'm going to read another poem by Seamus Heaney. First, I need to tell you there's a word in here that sounds like a offensive slur, but this is, according to the Oxford Dictionary, in Scottish and Northern Irish, the verb jap means spatter or splash over a surface. See, there's a couple other things in here. So there's some allusions to mythology. Fleet god means he's referring to Pan, the god of nature. And when the phrase "before you turned into a reed," that's when Pan chased a nymph who turned into a bed of reeds in order to evade him. And Hansel, you probably know from the story Hansel and Gretel. And "damned if I look back" refers to the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, when Orpheus traveled to the underworld to bring his wife back when she died, and he succeeded, but the only condition was that he did not look back at his wife until they reached the earth. He glanced back at her just as they were leaving the underworld, and he lost her forever. So, some references to mythology, and now I'll just read it. It's called "The Underground" by Seamus Heaney. There we were in the vaulted tunnel, running, you in your going away coat speeding ahead, and me then like a fleet god gaining upon you before you turned to a reed, or some new white flower japped with crimson as the coat flapped wild, and button after button sprang off and fell in a trail between the underground and the Albert Hall. Honeymooning, mooning around, late for the proms, our echoes die in that corridor, and now I come as Hansel came on the moonlit stones, retracing the path back, lifting the buttons, to end up in a drafty lamp-lit station after the trains have gone, the wet track, bared and tensed as I am, all attention for your step following, and damned if I look back. Thank you.
That was great. Sorry, I was going to say too many buttons. The story of my life. I used to like on-off switches, you know. Those were the days. Talking of on-off switch, we're going to turn on Rich, and I'm going to mute everybody. Okay, Rich.
Good. All right. Still hurts, darn it. Anyway, as I roamed out on a bright May morning to view the meadows and the flowers gay, whom should I spy but my own true lover, as she sat under yon willow tree? I took off my hat and I did salute her. I did salute her most courageously. When she turned around, well, the tears fell from her, saying, "False young man, you have deluded me." For to delude you, how can that be, my love? It's from your body I am quite free. I'm as free from you as the child unborn is. And so are you, my love, Jane, from me. A diamond ring I owned I gave you, a diamond ring to wear on your right hand. But the vows you made, love, you went and you broke them, and married the lassie that had the land. If I marry the lassie that had the land, my love, it's that I'll rue until the day I die. When misfortune falls, sure no man may shun it. I was blindfolded, I'll ne'er deny. Now at night when I go to my bed of slumber, thoughts of my own true love roll in my mind. When I turn around to embrace my darling, instead of gold, sure 'tis brass I find. Now I wish the Queen would call home her armies from the West Indies, America, and Spain, and every man to his own wedded woman, in hopes that you and I might meet again. Shinny.
Yay!
Great. And
Right, I got a sticky unmute button here, so that was very good. What do you call that? I've heard that by Planksty. I do a version of that myself. What's the title you have for that song?
As I Roved Out.
Okay, thank you. Very good.
Great.
All right, we are going to have Marlene. You're up, Marlene. I'm going
Okay.
to. Marlene's in Israel, by the way. I'm going
Yes.
to mute everybody, and then it's all
We
yours.
just had the Jerusalem folk music group. Just
Cool.
finished at 11:30 our time.
Excellent.
Together with British people and people all over.
That's the way Zoom works. I'm going to mute
Right.
everybody, then it's all yours. So here we go. Mute everybody.
Okay. Since I did my version of The Parting Glass, I'm doing the original, The Parting
Okay.
Glass.
You need to unmute yourself one more time.
Okay. Previously, I did The Parting Glass, my version, but now I'm doing the original. It's supposed to be, that's Celtic, right? Okay. Of all all the money that e'er I had, I've spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me, and all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass, good night and joy be with you all. Of all the comrades that e'er I had, they are sorry for my going away, and all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they would wish me one day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and I'll softly call, good night and joy be with you all. A man may drink and not be drunk, a man may fight and not be slain. A man may court a pretty girl and perhaps be welcomed back again. But since it has so ought to be, by a time to rise and a time to fall, come fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy be with you all. And I'm not Irish, by the way. I'm
You're a
from
chameleon.
Florida.
You're a chameleon. Hey, Jake, you might believe this, but
London, Florida, Miami Beach. Okay.
hey, that song, another variation of that song is the way we finish the Irish session every week. So hang around for now. We're going to sing that again. So.
Oh, I thought I was last. Okay, sorry.
No. We go on forever.
That verse about drinking and not being drunk reminds me of the verse from the Barnyards of Delgaty. I can drink and no be drunk, and I can fecht and no be slim. I can lie with another man's. Welcome to.
Yeah, very good. All right, we're going to move on. Keep moving on here. And it's time for Vincent again. And I'm going to mute everybody, and then Vincent will take it over. All right, I think it's all yours, Vincent.
I was just noticing there you're singing some songs about immigration. And I'm sure you've heard of the boomerang in Australia. Well, Ireland has its own boomerang. When you throw it, it doesn't come back. But it sings plenty of songs about wanting to. Anyway, I was just listening to Anne there, and I remembered this song here. So this is for Anne. It's a Scottish song. Well, the back of the winter is broken, and light lingers long by the door, and the seeds of the summer have spoken in gowans that bloom on the shore. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away, and we'll follow the heron home. In darkness we cradled our sorrow and stoke all our fires with fear. Now these bones that lie empty and hollow are ready for gladness to cheer. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away, and we follow the heron home. So long may you sing of the salmon and the snow-scented sounds of your home, while the north wind delivers its sermon of ice and salt water and stone. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away, and we follow the heron home. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away, and we'll follow the heron home. There we go.
Yay!
Wonderful song.
Love
I
it.
didn't
Nice
even
waltz. Wanted to dance to that.
Yeah, it had that seafaring lilt about it. You thought you were in a boat when you hear that kind of song. It's beautiful. Well done, well done, well done. All right, Ken and then me, and that's the end. That'll be the end of this round. So, Ken, I'm gonna mute everybody first, and then it's yours. All right, it's all yours. You still need to mute. Unmute.
Good. Then you didn't hear my pathetic attempt at retuning.
No, I thought it was the banjo I heard there. Sorry.
I perform music of the American Industrial Revolution because I live in one of the hotbeds where it happened along the Lehigh River. And there was a lot of industry in the 1830s and 40s getting going here. This is the home of the Bethlehem Steel, no longer in existence. But so one of the songs we do in our shows is Paddy on the Railway, also known as Paddy Works on the Railway. And it chronicles the life of a Paddy during the decade of the 1840s when rail construction was really going crazy. Now, maybe someone in this august assemblage can speak to this. I have been told that the chorus, which is gibberish to me, and I might be mispronouncing it, but I have been told that it's a corruption of Irish, and the meaning is, I'll return when it's time to rise up. And it was a code among the Irish railroad workers that meant they were loyal to Ireland, and when they got the call, they would return to help fight for Irish independence. And it's Filimiori Irie, Filimiori Irie. And anybody, is this just a fantasy someone foisted on me? Anybody hear anything like that? And we get the crowds to be pretty boisterous, yelling to work upon the railway at the end of every verse. In 1841, I put my corduroy breeches on, to work upon the railway. Filimiori Irie, Filimiori Irie, Filimiori Irie, to work upon the railway. In 1842, I left the old world for the new. That's thanks to the luck that brought me through to work upon the railway. Filimiori Irie, Filimiori Irie, Filimiori Irie, to work upon the railway. In 1843, that's when I met sweet Biddy McGee, an elegant wife she's been to me while working on the railway. Filimiori Irie, Filimiori Irie, Filimiori Irie, to work upon the railway. In 1844, I traveled the land from shore to shore, traveled the land from shore to work upon the railway. Fill-a-me-o-re-I-re-a, 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 to work upon the railway. Skiddy-day-day-day-day. In 1845, Paddy was feeling more dead than alive. Paddy was feeling more dead than alive from working on the railway. Fill-a-me-o-re-I-re-a, 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 to work upon the railway. Skiddy-day-day-day-day. In 1846, and paying me back from carrying bricks, hammers and nails and shovels and picks for working on the railway. Fill-a-me-o-re-I-re-a, 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 to work upon the railway. In 1847, Paddy was thinking of going to heaven. Paddy was thinking of going to heaven to work upon the railway. Fill-a-me-o-re-I-re-a, 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 to work upon the railway. Now in 1848, I learned to take me whiskey straight. Wine or drink you can't debate for working on the railway. Fill-a-me-o-re-I-re-a, 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 to work upon the railway. In 1849, the California hills look fine. No longer would I spend me time a-working on the railway. Fill-a-me-o-re-I-re-a, 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 to work upon the railway. Now it's Paddy do this and Paddy do that, without a stocking nor cravat, nothing but an old straw hat for working on the railway. Fill-a-me-o-re-I-re-a, 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 to work upon the railway. Fill-a-me-o-re-I-re-a, 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 to work upon the railway. Here's to Paddy.
Hey.
Hooray! Good one.
All right, thank you for that. That was great. We are moving on, and it's me. So there we go. Muto. All right. After me, it's one more round. This one is the only song I know that has the word has the reference to Dublin and Austin in the same song. It's Guy Clark's Dublin Blues, and great thing about Guy Clark, he was a great singer-songwriter. The amazing thing was he was Townes Van Zant's drinking buddy, drank nearly as heavily as Townes, and lived 20 years longer than he did, which itself is something of a miracle. But he wrote great songs with simple chords. This is a song about lost to love, but and drinking to forget. But there's also a reference to it that says basically great art doesn't just have to be an antiquity, because you could go into a coffee hall or a honky tonk and hear someone like Doc Watson play, which meant fine art was alive and well and with us all. So here we go. I wish I was in Austin, in a chilly parlor bar, drinking Mad Dog margaritas and not caring where you are. But here I sit in Dublin, just rolling cigarettes, holding back and choking back the shakes with every breath. Forgive me all my anger, forgive me all my faults. There's no need to forgive me for thinking what I thought. I loved you from the get-go, I love you till I die. I loved you on the Spanish Steps the day you said goodbye. I am just a poor boy, my middle name. If money was a reason, I would not be the same. I'll stand up and be counted. I'll face up to the truth. I'll walk away from trouble, but I can't walk away from you. Forgive me all my anger, forgive me all my faults. There's no need to forgive me for thinking what I thought. I loved you from the get-go, I love you till I die. I loved you on the Spanish Steps the day you said goodbye. I have been to Fort Worth, and I have been to Spain, and I have been too proud to come in out of the rain. I have seen the David, I've seen the Mona Lisa too, and I have heard Doc Watson play Columbus Stockade Blues. Forgive me all my anger, forgive me all my faults. There's no need to forgive me for thinking what I thought. I loved you from the get-go, I love you till I die. I loved you on the Spanish Steps the day you said goodbye. I wish I was in Austin, in a chili parlor bar, drinking Mad Dog margaritas and not caring where you are.
Yay! Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Obviously related to Handsome Molly.
Yeah.
That old song.
Yeah.
I hope folks understand that there are no chili bars in Austin. A chili parlor bar.
All right. Moving right along to David. Let me mute everybody. All right, David.
Thank you. This one is in honor of tomorrow, which is International Women's Day, or International Day of the Woman, however you choose. And I believe it's from Scotland. It's called The Gardener. And it's what we used to call a perfect squelch to what is obviously one of the earliest recorded cases of sexual harassment. It contains the language of flowers, rose, love, time, strength and courage, celandine, joys to come, chamomile, patience, clover flower, be mine, rue, disdain, cornflower blue, refinement. Proud Margaret stood at her father's doorway, as straight as a willow wand, and by there came a gardener bold, with a red rose in his hand, a red rose in his hand. Oh, you shall have my rose, fair maiden, if you'll give your flower to me. And among the flowers in your father's garden, I'll make a gown for thee, I'll make a gown for thee. Your gown shall be sweet-smelling thyme, your apron celandine, your petticoat of the chamomile, Come kiss sweetheart and join and join. Come kiss sweetheart and join. Your gloves shall be of the clover flower, your shoes of the rue so fine. I'll line them with the cornflower blue. So join your love with mine, with mine. So join your love with mine. Since you have made a gown for me among the summer flowers, so I will make a suit for thee among the winter showers, the showers, among the winter showers. The milk-white snow will be your shirt that lies your body next, and the night-black rain will be your coat, with the wind all at your breast, the cold wind at your breast. The horse that you shall ride upon will be of a wintry gray, and every time that you pass by, I'll wish you were away, away. I'll wish you were away.
Hey.
Full of flowery innuendo, evidently.
Very flowery.
That's what they say. Love flies out the door when money comes innuendo.
Oh, get the hook. Okay.
Words of the great Groucho Marx.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you, and thank you, Terry, for the light touch. Karen, it's your turn. I'm going to mute everybody. Right. All yours. Oh, you need to unmute, Karen.
Sorry, I don't have one prepared, but I want to appreciate anybody who does fast things that I can practice my boron with. So.
Say that again. I missed it. You got garbled a bit on for audio.
Yeah, because I don't have my earphones on, which is why I put my earphones on before. I said I don't have another one prepared, so I will listen. But I'll also say, if people can do some fast Irish things, I can practice my boron, my drum.
Yeah.
So appreciate
Fair enough.
fast Irish things for me to practice.
Okay, we'll do that.
You've muted yourself.
Claire's always got a diddly diddly somewhere. So.
Okay. Well, I think this is Irish. It sounds Irish. And I learned it from an album that I was given on, I guess I was about 14. It was a Christmas present. It was The Best of Peggy Seeger. Somebody mentioned prepubescent crushes. Well, my prepubescent crush was on Peggy Seeger. She was quite a looker in those days, and she was a fabulous banjo player, so that's how she won my heart. And then she married Ewan McCall and broke it again. So she did this song, which is about how, sort of a tutorial about how marital harmony can be maintained through the creative employment of kitchen utensils. And it's called The Rich Old Miser or The Battle of the Ladle. And I guess you noticed from the last song, I don't have any shyness about singing songs that are from the female perspective. I think it's helpful to men to do that. So here we go. rich old miser courted me. His age it was 63, and mine it was scarce 17. I wished his face I'd never seen. Nutty on the day, day good, nutty on the day, good day, nutty on the day, good, nutty on the day, good day. Whenever with him I did go out, all for to see a friend or foe. If anyone saluted me, it would increase his jealousy. Letting on the day, good, letting on the day, good day. Well, late one night when he came home, angered he would rage and foam. He beat me and he banged me too, till these two sides turned black and blue. Letting on the day, good, letting on the day, good day, letting on the day, good, letting on the day, good day. Next morning I do declare, such bitter knocks I could not bear. While he was sleeping in his bed, I broke my ladle right over his head. Letting on the day, good, letting on the day, good day, letting on the day, good, letting on the day, good day. Well, he jumped up and gave a shout, and round the house he ran about, but not a single moment's rest, until that rogue he was well dressed. Ready on the day, good, ready on the day, good day, ready on the day, good, ready on the day, good day. Well, he got down upon his knees and vowed he'd never me displease. My old man I did subdue with my ladle, and so may you. Letting on the day, good, letting on the day, good day, letting on the day, good day, letting on the day, good day. So all young women intends to marry, mind what household stuff you carry. Wherever you go, whatever you do, be sure to carry your ladle with you. Letting on the day, good, letting on the day, good day.
Yay! Good old feminist song. Love it.
Instructive song as well. There's a moral there somewhere. Alrighty, alrighty. We're gonna keep on moving, so we see if we can get everyone in within the 5 o'clock, within the 1 hour. And we now move on to Lord Horton, to Sandy. And I'm gonna mute everybody. Boom. Okay, so all yours to unmute.
Okay. Ken and I have been sharing some single malt while we're watching Zoom. So I thought, well, since I'm drinking scotch, I should probably try to find a Scottish song. So I grabbed my notebook and I found a song, and it's called the Killworth Hills, which is a retreat march that's really popular in Scotland, played by bagpipers. So now that I've had my Balvenie scotch, I'm going to see if I can play this song. I don't know that I've ever played it for anyone before because I just pulled it out of this book. So we'll try this, the Killworth Hills by George MacLennan, and it's Scottish.
Yay! Love
Nice
it.
little Scottish tune.
Very nice.
I heard the swirl of the bagpipes, I swear. That's very nice. All right, very good, very good. Next is Mary Jane. I'm going to mute everybody. Okay, all yours. Yep.
Okay, I'm going to do a non-traditional Yankee Irish song written in 1914 by James Royce Shannon. It was even sung by Bing Crosby in the 1940s in a movie. So it's not exactly Celtic, but I wouldn't have known, I think it really has a nice feel. It has a nice tune. So I'm going to give it a try here. Over in Killarney, many years ago, me mother sang a song to me in tones so sweet and low. Just a simple little ditty in her good old Irish way. And I'd give the world if she could sing that song to me this day. Doo-ra-doo-ra-doo-ra, doo-ra-doo-ra-la, doo-ra-doo-ra-doo-ra. Hush now, don't you cry. Doo-ra-doo-ra-doo-ra, doo-ra-doo-ra-la, doo-ra-doo-ra-doo-ra. That's an Irish lullaby. Often dreams I wander to that card again. I feel her arms a-hugging me as when she held me then. And I hear her voice a-humming to me as in days of yore, when she used to rock me
Yay, Mary Jane. Good one.
I remember that featuring in that great American film called Blazing Saddles, where there's a campfire, you hear this perfect Irish tenor singing, and at the end it says, and it's a Chinese lullaby, and all along it's a Chinese guy singing that song. So they don't make them like that anymore.
The Bing Crosby movie was called Going My Way,
That's
but I
right.
never saw it.
Oh, got to see that one. It's Americana, man. Okay, moving right along. It's Anne's turn. I'm going to mute everybody. Okay, and if you will unmute yourself, it's all yours.
Well, since we're singing songs about Scottish drink, I thought I would do one to Scotland's second national drink, which is called Iron Brew. And you might recognise the tune. Or there again, you might not, because I'll probably mangle it. Iron Brew is full of hazel dyes. Iron Brew goes well with deep fried pies. From North Berwick to Lerwick, and we love ammonium ferric citrate. Yes, we do. It's true. It's Iron Brew. Iron Brew. No Scot would ever think over you to choose another drink. You are part of our heart, like a tartan Highland coo. You're in our Iron Brew. Iron Brew, for Burns Night or Hogmanay. St. Andrew drank 50 cups a day. I'm up your dead shaft, wee lassie, when I'm swigging fair canny, fizzy orange goo, inspiring Iron Brew. Iron Brew was drunk by Walter Scott, Robert Louis Stevenson, and Watt. It helps Taggart solve his murders, 'cause it's made in Scotland friggerders. Did he misconstrue our love for Iron Brew? Iron Brew, as Scots as Susan Boyle, worse for you than drinking North Sea oil. If it's fed to Sassenachs, it causes fatal heart attacks. But from Dunoon to Troon to Curry, from Glasgow to Edinburgh, from Maggie Smith to Andy Murray, there's no Scotsman who could e'er be through admiring Iron Brew.
Ah.
There she goes again, naughty Annie.
Yeah, Iron Brew was Red Bull before Red Bull was thought of. I think. That was great. That is a very funny song. I've never heard it before. It's great. Thank you. All right, moving right along now. It is Rich. Rich, I'm going to mute everybody. He's still drinking that Iron Brew there. Okay, there we go. Okay, Rich, unmute. It's all yours.
Yeah.
I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. Now, though the night be as dark a dungeon, never a star nor a candle lit, I must be guided without a stumble into the arms of my own true love. I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. She lifted her head from her down white pillow, lifted the blankets from off her breast, and through the window she answers lowly, "Who's that disturbing me at my night's rest? I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. 'Tis I, your own true lover. Open the door, love, and let me in. For I am wet, love, likewise am weary. For I am wet, love, unto the skin. I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. She raised herself up with the greatest of pleasure. She raised herself up and she let him in. And all night long they rolled in each other's arms until the long night was past and gone. I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company. And when the long night was past and over, when the small cocks began to crow, he shook her hand, they kissed and parted. He saddled and mounted, and away did go. I'm a rover, seldom sober. I'm a rover of high degree. It's when I'm drinking, I'm always thinking how to gain my love's company.
Excellent.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, you know, Brendan Behan once said he only drank on 2 occasions. One was when he was thirsty, and the other was when he wasn't. So, there you go. Pick that song well. All right, moving right along, we are Marlene. Marlene, I'm going to mute everybody, and then it's yours. Mute all. Okay, time to unmute, and it's yours. Yep.
The Ballad of Barbara Allen, Garfunkel version. Okay. All in the merry month of May, when green buds all were swelling, sweet William on his deathbed lay, for love of Barbara Allen. He sent his servant to the town, a place where she did dwell in, said, "Master dear has sent me here. If your name be Barbara Allen." Then slowly, slowly she got up, and slowly she went to him, and all she said when there she came was, "Young man, I think you're dying. Don't you remember the other night when we were in the tavern? You drank a toast to the ladies there and slighted Barbara Allen." He turned his face onto the wall. He turned his back upon her. Adieu, adieu to all my friends, and be kind to Barbara Allen. As she was wandering by the fields, she heard the death bells melting, and every note did seem to say, hard-hearted Barbara Allen. The more it told, the more she grieved. She bursted out a-crying, oh, pick me up and carry me home. I feel that I am dying. They buried Willie in the old churchyard, and Barbara in the new one. And from Willie's grave there grew a rose, from Barbara's a green briar. They grew and grew in the old churchyard, till they could grow no higher. And there they tied in a true lover's knot the red rose and the briar. Okay. There's another version by Joan Baez, but I like the Garfunkel band better. Okay.
Yeah. That was lovely.
Lovely. All right.
When you don't have to learn all these words by heart, it's good. Okay. Like in a real performance.
Yeah. That was really good. Really good. All right. Vincent, you're up, fella. I'm going to mute everybody. And here we go. Mute all. All right. Take it off.
There we go. Stuart, you were saying about Brendan Behan there. It's one of the times you went to Canada, and he was asked at the press conference, the boy said to him, why did you come to Canada? He says, well, was watching an advertisement on the cinema back in Ireland, and the advertisement was about, it says, drink Canada dry. He says, so I'm going to have a good go at it. He was some character, I'll tell you. Anyway, here we go. One morning, May, when times were gay, serene, and pleasant was the weather, I spied a lass, and a very bonny lass. She was tripping the dew from up of the heather down the moor. Then among the heather, o'er the moor, and through the heather, I spied a lass, and a very bonny lass. She was tripping the dew from up of the heather down the moor. Barefooted was she, and comely to see, and on her head neither cap nor feather, and the plaid hung neatly around her waist as she tipped through the bloomin' heather down the moor. In among the heather, o'er the moor, and through the heather, and the plaid hung neatly around her waist as she tipped through the bloomin' heather down the moor. I stepped up to the spare maidman, tell me your name, come tell me Heather. And she answered me down by the bonny burnside, sure I'm keeping all my eyes together down the moor. And among the heather, o'er the moor, and through the heather. And she answered me down by the bonny burnside, sure I'm keeping all my eyes together down the moor. I courted her that livelong day, my heart was as light as any feather, until the beams of the red setting sun came a shining down and among the heather down the moor. and among the heather, over the moor and through the heather, until the beams of the red setting sun came a shining down, and among the heather, down the moor. She said, young man, I must away, my eyes are straying from each other. But I'm as loath for to part with you as the bonny wee lambs are to part their mother down the moor. And among the heather, o'er the moor and through the heather. But I'm as loath for to part with you as the bonny wee lambs are to part their mother down the moor. Then up she got and away she went, her name and place I cannot gather. But if I was the king, I'd make her the queen of bonny lass I met, and among the heather down the moor. And among the heather, o'er the moor and through the heather. If I was the king, I'd make her the queen of bonny lass I met, and among the heather down the moor.
Yay, Vincent! Great.
Good one.
Love it.
Very
Love
good.
it.
Well done, sir. Well done. All right. Ken's coming up with the penultimate song, and I'm coming up with the ultimate song, and then Dave will take us out with the parting glass. So I'm muting everybody, and here we go. All right, Ken, time. There you go.
Okay, pressure's on, huh? Penultimate, wow. When I play around Christmas time, I sneak this into a verse of a pretty well-known song. And Karen, this will give you an opportunity to get a workout on the Bowron here. There was a wild colonial boy, Jack Duggan was his name. He was born and bred in Ireland, in a place called Castlemaine. He was his father's only son, his mother's pride and joy. And dearly did his parents love the wild colonial boy. At the tender age of 16 years, he left his native home, and to Australia's sunny shores he was inclined to roam. He robbed the rich, he helped the poor, he shot Judge McAvoy. A terror to Australia was the wild colonial boy. One morning on the prairie, as Jack he rode along, listening to the mockingbirds singing a cheerful song, out stepped a band of troopers, Kelly Davis and Fitzroy. They all set out to capture him, the wild colonial boy. Surrender now, Jack Duggan, for you see we're 3-1. Surrender in the Queen's high name, though you're a plundering son. Jack drew 2 pistols from his belt and proudly waved them high. I'll fight, but not surrender, said the wild colonial boy. He fired a shot at Kelly that laid him to the ground, and turning round to Davis, he received his fatal wound. A bullet pierced his proud young heart from the pistol of Fitzroy, and that's the way they captured him, the wild colonial boy. There was a wild colonial boy, Jack Duggan was his name. He was born and bred in Ireland in a place called Castlemaine. He was his father's only son, his mother's pride and joy, and dearly did his parents love the wild colonial boy.
Yeah! Huzzah!
That's a great intro. I never thought of using that one. Nice sneaky one.
Fine, you can't have it.
Hey, it's folk music. We still like brigands.
Only from the best.
I want royalties.
All right. I'm going to do the last one, and then we'll do the farewell, everybody, and then David will take it away. So I'm going to mute everybody. All right. This is one I heard from Christy Moore singing. When I was in Hong Kong, I was played with Irish musicians for 7 years. 7 years. I think it's the some kind of service, as they call that, indentured service. There you go. But one of the songs you had to sing if you wanted to get in the folk club was Nancy Spain. So here goes. Of all the stars that ever shone, not one does twinkle like your pale blue eyes. Like golden corn at harvest time your hair. Sailing in my boat, the wind gently blows and fills my sail. Your sweet scented breath is everywhere. Daylight peeping through the curtain of the passing night time is your smile, and the sun in the sky is like your laugh. Come back to me, my Nancy, linger for just a little while. Since you left these shores, I've known no peace or joy. No matter where I wander, I'm still haunted by your name. The portrait of your beauty stays the same. Standing by the ocean, wondering where you've gone, if you'll return again. Where is the ring I gave to Nancy Spain? On a day in spring, when snow starts to melt and streams to flow, with the birds I'll sing this song. Then in the while I'll wander down by Bluebell Stream where wildflowers grow, and I hope that lovely Nancy will return. No matter where I wander, I'm still haunted by your name. The portrait of your beauty stays the same. Standing by the ocean, wondering where you've gone, if you'll return again. Where is the ring I gave to Nancy Spain? Where is the ring I gave to Nancy Spain?
Done.
Well, there you are. All right, David, take us out with the parting glass.
All right, then. See you next time. Don't forget, on the
Thanks,
21st,
everybody. See you next time.
the 21st, same time will be the Stone Soup session, anything goes more or less. And then Terry's Song and Tune session on Saturdays.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Stuart.
All the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company. And all the harm that I ever did, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass, good night and joy be with you all. Oh, if I had money enough to spend, and leisure time to sit a while, there is a fair maid in this town, who sorely has my heart beguiled. Her rosy cheek and ruby lip, I own she has my heart in thrall. So fill to me the parting glass, good night and joy be with you all. Oh, the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts I ever knew, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and I'll softly call, good night and joy be with you all. I'll softly rise and I'll gently call, good night and joy be with you all.